Okay, so today we're actually going to be looking at a video a little bit later about a crazy police training seminar. Right now I have an article and then we're going to get into the video, but let's get into it. It says extremely disturbing. Some Illinois police departments nix training with controversial firm. Police department leaders in at least 2 Illinois towns have canceled upcoming training classes for their officers offered by a private firm whose past practices were criticized by a New Jersey state agency for promoting unconstitutional tactics and for glorifying violence. Street cop training was slated to hold training classes in 5 Illinois communities between April and November. Burr Ridge, Cary, Elgin, Mount Vernon, and Rochelle. Burr Ridge and Rochelle have since canceled classes, and Elgin has said its officers will not attend the company's training. The company's courses are not certified by the Illinois Law Enforcement Training and Standards Board, state officials said, meaning any officers who attended those classes would not receive continuing education credits. In December, the New Jersey's office of the state comptroller released a scathing report centered on a 6-day training conference Street Cop held in Atlantic City in October 2021. Nearly 1,000 officers from departments across the country attended the conference, the report states, where they heard instructors who promoted the use of unconstitutional policing tactics for motor vehicle stops and, quote unquote, glorified violence and an excessively materialistic or warrior approach to policing. So right now, what I'm actually going to do is go and play you all the video, and then I have a little bit more and we're gonna get into it.
In October 2021, about 1,000 police officers attended a private police training conference in Atlantic City. What we found was really disturbing.
I'm not doing the guy who's recording you like, I am not a citizen of the United States under Act 1260. Shut the right? About to get pepper sprayed, tased, windows broken out, mother.
You start to get a picture of why cops behave the way they do when you see how they act behind closed doors and how they teach each other. Remember, the audience is interacting with all of this very positively, as far as I can tell.
They denigrated women and racial and ethnic minorities.
You get a little boo-boo-poo, nanny-poon time, whatever the hell you call it, okay? There's an approach. You don't walk up and say, hi, what's your name? How old are you? Sounds like casting couch, doesn't it?
They promoted a warrior mentality and glorified violence.
There's nothing else I'm good at. I love violence, I love fighting, I love shooting, and I fucking love freedom. It wasn't that long ago that we were drinking out of the skulls of our enemies. Like, I'm gonna fucking murder this guy, then I'm gonna take his head, then I'm gonna cut his head in half, and then I'm gonna boil his skull, and then I'm gonna drink out of that skull.
Just a while, west, south, wherever. You don't believe me? Run from Georgia State Patrol. Run from me. Somewhere along the chase becomes neither confirm or deny. There's some videos out there with me doing just that.
Obviously, what is the first thing that I went and did when I heard him say that? I searched for the video. Check this out from just a few months ago.
The first on the news at 6 o'clock, a Reserve West Baton Rouge Parish Sheriff's deputy who shot into the back of a fleeing car is facing charges tonight.
Sean Pardazzi was fired in February, months after the initial incident took place. He's now facing charges of illegal discharge of a firearm and obstruction of justice.
Vehicle in park.
And what about the main dude? Well, I looked him up also, Dennis Benino. He's the one who said he was going to tase the guy for filming him.
Shut the fuck up, right? About to get pepper sprayed, fucking tased, windows broken out, motherfucker.
CBS News had this headline about him. CBS New York investigates controversial police trainer was disciplined for alleged racial slur, other incidents. They ask, how did a former New Jersey police officer who was disciplined 3 times in a period of 5 years go on to train thousands of officers while charging local governments thousands of dollars?
They belittled internal affairs.
Get kicked in the dick one too many times, when we get in trouble by IA, when we lose our motivation and inspiration. I harped a lot on all the negativity. How many times I got kicked in the dick because they didn't want me to go out there and hit a trap, and they didn't want to hit money, they didn't want to hit me killed. I hit hit 15 kilos. I hit 300,000. I'm still getting yelled at.
They dehumanize civilians.
You don't like treating Turks, right? You're like, fuck them. The ambulance can take care of them, right? And I had a problem treating, gangbangers and the people that were the pieces of shit of society, right? And I had a great mentor that told me, well, Sean, guess what? That's a live tissue lab, bro. Anytime you can come to one of these shitbags, absolutely do the best you can. Absolutely. Because what if he gets hurt, right? Or she gets hurt, or he gets hurt, then I can perform that flawlessly because now I've had some reps in. Everybody get that? Everybody with?
On their website, they are advertising this year's 2024 Street Cop Training Conference in Kissimmee, Florida, April 28th of this year. So just here in a few weeks. Look at this. Here's the cost. Per person, $699. Why so much? Well, I'm sure it has nothing to do with the fact that taxpayer money is likely paying for this. As far as the guy saying that he hasn't taught anything unconstitutional, well, I will link below and put on the blog the actual report from the comptroller's office in New Jersey that goes into great detail, not only on what I've told you about here, but many more things that they've said that were blatantly wrong and unconstitutional. It's all laid out there with the case law. It's a fascinating report, and you can go over it as much as you want. All they're going to do is just hide next time. They're going to make sure there's no video. They're going to suppress the course materials. But this, I predict, is going to be a treasure trove of future civil rights litigation, both in criminal cases and in civil Section 1983 cases. We need to know which police officers have been to these seminars. Who taught there? Is there video? What was said? What were the course materials? This is going to be more important now than ever.
So I'm going to read the rest of it, and then we're going to talk about that video. The agency's report counted over 100 discriminatory and harassing remarks by speakers and instructors, with repeated references to speakers' genitalia, as you heard, kick them in, lewd gestures, and demeaning quips about women and minorities. So that's the thing. This is why people don't really trust the police. I mean, you were having the seminars and the guy said it was $699, so $700. And before he even said taxpayer money, I was like, these people aren't paying for this. It's going to be us or whoever's in your, county or whatever, who is paying for them. And that's what's going on. So they're not paying for this stuff. It's taxpayers' money, more than likely, that is going to be paying for these crazy seminars, which are saying, hey, if someone's recording, tase them, or go and tase them, or get some pepper spray, beat them up. Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. Rough them up. And if they're black, you know what I mean? They're disabled, and it's like, what? And goodness, if they're a woman, what else are you going to do to them? You know what I mean? So this is the kind of stuff, and poor training, obviously. This is why we have what we have. This is why you could see someone who's, whatever. Let's say they're trying to stop a crime that does not necessarily require a gun. Okay. And let's say it requires just pepper spray or some restraint. None of these officers, from my understanding, are trained in any kind of martial arts. No judo throws, no MMA, so that we can actually defend ourselves before going the lethal way. Okay. Now I watch a lot of the active ASP, protector ASP, active self-protection videos on YouTube. Great channel. Very knowledgeable people. Of course, this is what they do. And after watching a lot of them, there'll be many times where they're like, honestly, the cop didn't need to go and whip out a gun. Or let's say the cop has the gun like this, but then there's little Daisy right in front, and then there's little Tyrone over here, and there's little Deborah over there, and you're going and waving a gun, and you could go and murder 3 other people, and we know that this kind of stuff happens often where other bystanders are getting hurt because of your recklessness. I mean, there was just a case that came out about a kidnapped victim who her father was kidnapping her, and then police officers killed her and the father. And then this happened in 2022, I believe, and we're just now hearing about it, because they didn't want the footage to come out because they were saying, oh, we didn't kill him, but you found out the cops killed her. It was a crazy story. But this is the point, it's just poor training, piss poor training. You're going out here saying like you're this tough, manly, whatever dude. Oh, well, this person fled. Oh, well, shoot. If you're going to plant evidence on me, you're going to beat me up, you're going to do all that, I might flee too. You know what I mean? So it just needs to be an entire overhaul. It needs to be new training. You need to whip some of these people out. A lot of these people only deserve to be on desk duty and not actually out in the field because they don't have the training to do so. And with these training seminars, obviously that ain't doing it for them. But let me know what you all think about this story down below.